Hey everybody, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Thanks for joining me for Project Life. This is week 12, so stick around. Hey friends, it's Jen with ChappyPlans. Happy Monday. Thanks for watching this video. This is week 12 in my Project Life album. And I am using still the March Stories by the Month kit from Ali Edwards, plus some items from my stash, a couple of things from the Fun Story kit. Those puffy rainbow stickers are also from Ali Edwards, and there's a couple of vellum pieces that I have, and I cannot remember which story kit or Stories by the Month kit they came from, but I am going to start putting this together. It comes together very quickly because I did not want to do a ton of decorating given the week that I had just had. So I already shared this story in, well, let's see, this is actually going to go up before my Hobonichi Weeks Plan With Me video. So this will be the first time you guys will hear my saga for the week about my illness. And you know some of it if you've been following me on Instagram because I shared a bunch of that information in my stories. But essentially, I got sick again. I had talked about it a little bit last week during my Project Life video voiceover. Since then, I was diagnosed with pneumonia. I had ended up going from urgent care on Saturday to urgent care on Monday, where I had an x-ray done, and they confirmed that I had pneumonia because I had low oxygen, high blood pressure, needed treatments for it, got steroids, got antibiotics, different from the ones that I was on a few weeks prior for the flu. It was a whole mess, and I go into more detail about it in my Plan With Me video. I don't necessarily feel like rehashing all of it, but this was the week I went back to urgent care. So in last week's video, I talked about going to urgent care on Saturday morning for all of that stuff, and they said I had just the perfect storm of like my new psoriasis medication, lowering my immune system, possibly not being quite over the flu, and that bacteria working its way into my lungs because I do have asthma and a combination of side effects from the new meds, and who knows what germs I'd been exposed to at school. Pneumonia is going around the school that I work at, and so who knows, but I ended up with it. However, as of doing the voiceover for week 11, I did not know that I had pneumonia, I don't think, at the time. So I still didn't feel well on Monday morning, and I stayed home. So I went to urgent care, and they did the x-ray where they said, yes, you have pneumonia, and they gave me new antibiotics, which I ended up giving me hives and didn't seem to really be working by the middle of the week, which was very frustrating. So Thursday morning when I woke up with the hives, I called my primary, and they said to stop taking it. But then by the afternoon, the hives had started to disappear. So when I called them back and told them that, they said, okay, well, you can try taking the next dose, and if they come back, go off, stop taking them again, and you'll have to come in and get new antibiotics. And I was like, oh my God, I don't want to have to start over on another antibiotic. Like, this is so frustrating. And I started crying on the phone with my nurse, my doctor's nurse, because I was just so over it. And fortunately, I did end up taking the rest of the medication and did not have the hives return. And I credit that, honestly, to my faith and to Nora for praying for me, because she asked me if she could pray for me and lay hands on me, and I ended up not getting hives ever again. And I have since finished my antibiotics completely and have had no other crazy side effects after that. So praise God for that, and thank you for Nora for having more faith in her mom, because I just was like completely depressed and over it. And I talked about this, like I said, in the video coming up soon here on my channel, but just like I'm extroverted, and being home all this time was really hard, and being sick again was really hard, and yeah, it just, all of it was really hard, and none of it was fun. So I needed to use these little tiny die cut pieces from the Fun Story kit. This one says, nah, not very fun. Actually, that photo is from Friday when I went to my primary to just triple check that everything was okay and my lungs looked clear, and I didn't want to head into the weekend still wheezing, which I was at this point, and even Friday morning I was still coughing up blood in my mucus. So I know, I'm sorry, that's gross. Hence the UGG. Those are really old alphas from Ali Edward, or Heidi Swap rather. The bottom is a screenshot from one of my Instagram stories that says, I pretty much live here now when you're on a first name basis with the attending PA. Time for your chest x-ray. So that one was from Monday, and the front photo was from Friday. I featured the photo of myself, like my selfie with the thumbs down, because that's more appealing to look at than like a screenshot, I feel like. So I'm just talking all about that story on this journaling card. And I always edit out the journaling just to spare you. And then, so there's really not like a ton of pictures from the week. I did have to rally, and I wrote that on the little chipboard piece I'm going to use of the picture of Nora at the eye doctor, because I knew I wasn't contagious, but I just was like praying I didn't have a coughing fit and like start coughing along while we were in the doctor's office. But I took her to Warby Parker because she was complaining about not being able to see, and I was like, wow, okay, well, I mean, I'm basically legally blind, and I've had glasses or contacts since I was in 4th grade also. So I made the appointment, and they said she had astigmatism, and we ordered her glasses. So that was the whole thing. It actually felt really good to get out of the house too and talk to like another human being, because I'd been homesick since Thursday night, the week prior, not feeling well. So that was really the only event like during the week, other than we caught the kitties sleeping, not, you can see they're not on top of each other, but they are close on our bed, so that was super cute. So my formula is really simple this week. I'm basically sticking with pink, yellow, blue, and then a little bit of green here and there. Using like the word phrase stickers. I have some plastic hearts from Studio Calico. I have some circle label stickers from Studio Calico. And then I already mentioned the alphas, the puffy rainbows, and let's see what else. Using my tiny attacher to adhere the plastic hearts and the vellum to the vellum, because the title card was vellum, and there's going to be another card on the right side that's vellum as well that I attach the circle piece of vellum to, so it's always easier to use my tiny attacher for that. And then they either get like some alphas or like the heart with the word phrase sticker or a chipboard piece, something like that. So on this Be Silly, Be Kind, Be Honest card, I just wrote that it was a crap week, that I couldn't believe I was sick, glad I wasn't contagious, but having a really intense cough, with the blood and the wheezing, feeling like garbage, and just how ridiculous it is to be sick for a 3rd time. I do want to mention, after I film, I add a yellow, blue, and pink plastic heart to the top of that journaling card that's on the bottom there, the one that says Be Silly, Be Kind, Be Honest. Obviously, what I wrote about really had nothing to do with being silly or kind, but more about complaining. And I think I have every right to complain given how my 2025 has started. So that was the close-up of the left side. Moving on to the right, I am basically going to leave this quote card by itself, other than adding a little rainbow to it. It's just perfect. And then I have a photo of some flowers my best friend dropped off for me while I was out, Friday. I was feeling a lot better. Like I said, I had a urgent care appointment with like my primary. And right before that, Nora and Matt and I met up with my mom, who every year takes Nora to pick out her Easter dress at the local mall. So we met up with her for that. And that was like my second official outing outside of the house, which was great. And I was feeling much better by then. So she picked out her dress, and let's see, what else did we do? Then I had to go to the doctor, where everything that like I had been feeling, and he had me start from February 12th when I had COVID and explain my whole story and all the symptoms and all the things and all the meds I took and everything else. And he basically was just like, yeah, you've been through it. You have pneumonia. This could take a while, and called me in some extra meds in case I needed them, but I haven't yet. You can tell I still sound like I still have laryngitis from all the coughing, but I feel so much better. Other than now, my allergies are bothering me, but that's a whole different story for another day. So on to what I'm doing right now. Nora had her dance recital benefit, which was her first one, and it's something her dance studio does every year. They sponsor kids who can't afford to take dance, and they have a fundraiser, and so all the sales go towards sponsoring families whose children can't afford to go to dance. And it's only allowed, like the older girls and classes are the only ones who are allowed to perform, so this was her first year being able to. She's been at this dance studio since she was 3, so this was exciting for her. And so I had the picture of her and her friend after the recital at the reception, like the dessert reception, which is why I put a little circle sticker of an ice cream cone. And then this picture of her with her flowers after. And I just journaled on the 3x4 card in the middle that has that same beautiful like paint pattern, abstract paint pattern. And I wrote that my week got worse before it got better, hives and more wheezing. That Friday I went to urgent care and it was worth it. Nora went for her annual Easter dress. Saturday was the benefit. We got Chipotle after for dinner and it was a mess with an over an hour wait, but we did end up getting it. And Sunday we had church, and then Nora shared her testimony about how she prayed for me. My hives went away, and we had our monthly potluck. And that's all I journaled about, was like just a couple of sentences for every little thing. And then the bottom photo I made in the Diptyque app, which is 4 different pictures of Nora with her best friend Abby and Abby's cousin Greta, who came over for the afternoon on Sunday after church. And it was Greta's first time at our house, so it was really, fun for Nora. She loves to invite friends and welcome everybody. And they played out on the trampoline a lot, so I just embellished that photo with a bunch of, like, the things that I had still that I didn't use. So I had, like, Bring on the Fun, I had the yellow plastic heart, an ampersand sticker, and then a blue rainbow. And then the last thing is the vellum card on the bottom right that I just stapled the vellum circle to with a pink heart. It says, "It is what it is," because that's basically summing up the whole week. And then I just wrote directly on the vellum underneath the circle, and it just says, "Sunday after church, Abby and Greta came over for the afternoon." That's it. So not super crazy, nothing like mind-blowing happening really this week. I guess the highlight was Nora's dance recital and me starting to finally get better, I guess. So I know I did a lot of talking about my week and not necessarily narrating what I was doing. So hopefully, you saw in the video, even though it is sped up to 4 times the speed. But if you have any questions about anything I used or did or didn't do, feel free to leave those in the comments, or you can always DM me over on Instagram. And, I do add a couple of alphas to the top of this. I just spelled out 4 with the number 4 and then me question mark, because that's like so incredibly kind of my friend to do. And hardly anyone ever, I don't think anyone really gets me flowers. So that was super sweet. And she left a little post-it note that said, "Hope you feel better." 'Cause listen, my church knows I've been through it and I just have not been feeling great. So they've all been praying for me, and, that was just so sweet. So here is the finished right side of the spread. I super appreciate you guys hanging out with me and listening to me whine and complain, but it is what it is, like the sticker says, right? So if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss my content. And I will see you in the next one. Hopefully I am done being sick. Thank you guys so much for watching. Take care of yourselves and remember that you are enough. Bye, friends.